guys, my name is Megan Podlaski, and today we're going to be talking about guided reading for first graders in English, Language Arts, and Reading, so ELAR. So the goal of guided reading is for students to become fluent readers who can problem solve strategically and read independently and silently. So what are the principles of guided reading? The teacher supports children in reading materials that they cannot read totally independently. The guided reading is to help students learn reading strategies so that they can apply those to other reading situations. Number 1, may be done individually or with a small group, no more than 6, to support understanding of any aspect of reading. Number 2, the teacher makes guided reading decisions based on observations of what the student can or cannot do to construct meaning. 3, it is not usually done with texts that are not familiar to the student. 4, the students in the group need further work on the same type of problem. And 5, students learn from each other and support each other. So how do we find out which group a student should be in? We need to find the current level of performance, and this should be done at the beginning of a school year to find out at which level each student can read. Teachers can access the student's reading level where they were at the end of their last year, and then just start testing at that level to see if the student has improved over the summer at all. This process is usually done about 3 times a year from kindergarten to 3rd grade, and is called the Developmental Reading Assessment, or the DRA. It gives the educator a good baseline for each student and allows some insights such as, who do you read with at home? Would you rather read alone, with a buddy, or in a group? Why? What is your favorite book? So after that, then the student will actually get the chance to read the book, and the teacher will circle any words that are mispronounced. The teacher will also have the student kind of close the book and assess comprehension by asking the student, start at the beginning and tell me what happened. The teacher will ask the student, what did you like best and why? There's a quick categorization kind of completed right in the moment, so the teacher will know if the student is still in that level or if they can move on to a higher level. If they do, we'll test in that higher level. And if we are just going to maintain there at that same level, then it's good to give that student some immediate feedback, saying what they did well, and then also what they need to work on for next time. So an example of this would be, you did a great job, you did really well connecting with the story. I loved how you told me what your favorite part was. We also need to work on retelling the story, telling me what happened in the beginning, middle, and end. So work on that for next time. So a good time to fit guided reading time in is during the read to self time. The room is generally quiet and the students already know the routine of what is expected of them. This gives me the opportunity to have some one-on-one time or some group time with about 3 to 4 students. So aside from the more personalized attention, the thing that I like about guided reading is that you know that everyone in the group is at a similar level, so that they are all challenged at a comparable level. So no one is getting left behind or feels rushed or feels bored. And I think this establishes a sense of validation and rapport in the classroom that I'm not alone in my struggle. Here are my classmates, my teammates, and they're having a hard time too. It's not just me, and we're all learning together. So for example, our level 2s, yesterday we were working on the book Our Flag, and that is a DRA level 2 informational book about the flag, of course. So we start out with everybody kind of sharing one thing they learned about this book, about the flag. What did you learn while reading this? So we'll just kind of go around the teacher table and talk about that a little bit. It helps with comprehension, understanding, and also just kind of reflecting and synthesizing what I learned yesterday and that it still matters today. So after reviewing our book from yesterday, I'll pass out the new book and we'll do just kind of a picture walk. Just look at the pictures and kind of say, what do you think the story is going to be about? Who do you think the characters are going to be? What do you think that this character wants to do? And the book that we're actually going to be looking at is Little Squirrel Wants to Play. So we would ask, what do you think Little Squirrel wants to do? So we'd first start out, and then after doing our kind of picture walk, go around and have each student read about, 2 pages as soon as you open it up, this side and that side. Take turns going around the teacher table reading the entire story. And this gives me the opportunity to get a lot of information about that specific individual's reading level. I can make notes while I'm listening and observing to what they're doing well or still struggling with. And so to help with understanding, the teacher can make some general comprehension comments along the way while they're taking turns reading. Like when the squirrel doesn't want to sleep, the teacher can comment, what was Mama wanting him to do? The students would reply, go to sleep. Does he want to sleep? No, he wants to play. Or when a new character is introduced, the teacher could ask, do we have a new character? Is he out playing or sleeping? The teacher can also ask predicting questions like, what do you think the little squirrel is going to do next? Or reflection questions such as, did the little squirrel change his mind? So after your group finishes reading the book, explain the objective for tomorrow, what they're expected to do, and why, what they'll be assessed on. Tomorrow you can take future note of story recall, retelling, comprehension, and their connection to the story. So an example of this would be, okay, take this back to your book box, and tomorrow, what's the first book you're gonna read? Little squirrel wants to play, Yes, because we're going to do an activity tomorrow morning that talks about the beginning, middle, and end of Little Squirrel Wants to Play.